We've had a lot of great things happen in athletics this year. We're excited to honor all of our coaches and players. Before we do that, I'm going to run down a big list of thank yous for all the people that have helped make athletics possible this year. And that will save us some time too, because I know all of our coaches want to thank all these people as well. So first, I want to thank Alan Kern and the Dining Hall staff, who does an absolutely amazing job taking care of our student athletes. They feed us for road trips. Our students, when they get back from games, usually the dining hall are the first people they see, and they just do an incredible job keeping us well fed. So thank you to Mr. Kern and the dining hall staff. Mr. Anasek, our maintenance crew. We have some aging athletic facilities, and they require a lot of upkeep, and the maintenance staff does an unbelievable job with the fields, the gym, the floors, the scoreboards, everything. So thank you to them for taking good care of us. The senior administration, you really can't have successful athletics at a high school, college, prep school without a really supportive administrative group. Mr. Debbie, Ms. Doherty, Ms. Google and the student life staff, Ms. Kovalevsky and Mr. Aruza, who crush it, Ms. Abraham and Ms. Mosher in admissions, Mr. Welsh and the development team. All of these people are working around the clock for you, the students, to enhance your experience. They keep us connected to the alumni. They're working for future Panthers, and their support is really unwavering, and it wouldn't be possible for you to compete without all of their support. The health center staff and our athletic trainer, Ms. Blackburn, deserve a huge thank you. I think that's probably the most thankless job on campus is the job of the athletic trainer and the health center staff. I know for our lacrosse team, it kept us pretty much duct taped together this year. So a huge thank you to them for keeping us healthy. The athletic department in general, Coach Kovalevsky, Ms. Seeger, and Coach Bixler. This is an incredible athletic department staff that we have here. They keep you guys healthy. The behind-the-scenes work of buses, meals, everything that keeps this thing ticking. These people work a lot of hours and do an incredible job. We're really fortunate. The Robbie's crew, Dawn and Stephanie, who keep us hooked up with apparel and also keep you guys well fed. The Hack Shack. And then being a coach at a high school prep school, right, where we teach all day, work all day, have dorm duty at night, none of that would be possible without at-home support staff. So all of these coaches here have incredible support staff in terms of partners and their own children, and they deserve a huge thank you and recognition as well. And then to the students, your parents. Thank you to your parents who obviously spend tuition money for you to attend this school, who take you to club practices and tryouts, and who travel to away games. When our lacrosse team goes to Maryland, there's 30 parents there, 2 hours away, and they'll pretty much do anything for you. Right? And their life, a lot of the time, revolves around your extracurricular activities, which I am learning now as a parent of a 6-year-old who's now in activities, that it's a lot. Okay, so to the students, I think you guys should give your parents a big round of applause. Okay, all right, we're going to start to shift towards our teams and some awards here in a few minutes. I'm going to run down just a few of the accomplishments of our student athletes and our teams this year. So this past school year, our teams competed at a high level locally, regionally, and nationally. We won Penn Jersey League championships in girls tennis, boys tennis, and girls lacrosse. We came in second place in cross country and golf by 1 stroke in golf, second place. And we're playing for a championship tomorrow in softball. Volleyball entered the postseason ranked number 2 in the state, and being a 9-time state champion for the first time this year. We went to back-to-back PASA Commonwealth Cup championships in boys soccer. Our track and field and swim teams performed exceptionally this year. The number of records that we set in the pool and the track was probably unmatched in our school's history. I know those coaches are going to talk about get started with the teams, we're going to start with a pretty impressive award. So this year we had 6 students named academic All-Americans by the National High School Coaches Association. Those 6 students. So when I say your names, guys, I want you to stand up, come to the front. You're going to come up on stage for a picture with Mr. Kimberly. Alright, so baseball player Eric Diaz. Give all our applause.
milestones. When Coach Wells and I started, our boys cross country team wasn't big enough to score points. We had three people, and our team has only grown since then, and we've been really proud of the work that our boys have done over this past year. I think probably the best example of this is that every time there's a rainstorm that happens on campus, every teacher and every athlete comes up to one of the two of us and asks, "You guys gonna run outside today?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're going out." Our boys, have competed and trained in all kinds of weather, and they have done it generally without complaints, so we're proud of the culture and the attitudes that they've developed. 25K minute performances in the last few years that we've been coaching. Our boys placed first at the Hampton Cross Country Invite, second at the PJA League Championships, and they placed 14th at the Casey Championships, competing amongst the best runners in the region. So they did themselves really well this year. So I'm going to start with MIP. Our MIP this year, the phrase that I heard him say most often in practice was, I'm not feeling great today, but I'm just going to try to do my best and get through this practice. And he did that practice, he did that at Leeds, and he shaved several minutes off his 5-player award to Colin Enck. This MVP, he dominated our team in our league this season. He won almost every race that we ran during the PJA season. He's got quiet, tireless determination that served him well in cross-country courses. And he also just recently set a school record in the 2 mile. He ran 11:01, which is a really, really big improvement over last year. Our team is lucky to have this example, and next year they're going to be counting on that example more than ever. So I'm pleased to present the most valuable player to Ryan Dennis. Next up, we got Coach Pearlstein football.
All right. So we don't need to thank all those people. All right. I'll just skip it. I remember to thank my assistant coaches this year. So I got to skip down over there. All right. I'd like to thank my assistant coaches and good friends, Kieran Trainer, Kevin Malley, and Matt Willie. Kieran was with me for 2 seasons this year. So I spent a lot of time with these guys, and without their support, none of the success football and track has had this year would have been possible. This football season offered us an opportunity to reinvent ourselves as a team. Returning only 3 starters on both sides of the ball from the previous season, we had to figure out what this team would be best at, and quickly. We also had to get the new starters and backups ready in a short amount of time. As the year progressed, we relied less on the pass and became a run-dominant attack. We finished the year with over 1,500 yards on the ground, which is the most since I've been here, and 25 rushing touchdowns via a 3-headed attack in the backfield. At the conclusion of the season, we were 5-3, with our staple wins being against rival Mercersburg on homecoming and an overtime thriller against Delaware County Christian via the hit heard around Pennsburg by Jim Huang. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. Our season ended in the first round of playoffs, falling 1 yard short of completing a 21-point comeback. A big reason for our rushing success was some added muscle and athleticism up front. After trying to get Joe Oswald to play football since he was in 8th grade, I entered the season excited about the possibilities of how we could use him. After the first week, it became clear that he would not be a tight end or a fullback, unfortunately for him, but our best chance to be successful was at center. We also realized that outside linebacker was not the best fit for him, and we moved him to the defensive line. He did all of these things without argument or complaint, and all he wanted to do was win and help the team. Oh, and he also served as the kicker throughout most of the year as well, in place of our injured kicker. In his first year playing football, Joe earned all league honors for offensive line, which is why Joe Oswald is our MIP. Okay. Moving on, our MVP this year has truly been the linchpin of our success for the past 3 seasons. I could always rely on this athlete to be able to immediately and successfully apply coaching to the game. Quarterback and safety Gavin Fulner ran the ball over 80 times for 600 plus yards and 10 touchdowns.
Impressive, right? 4 games at home this year. We've lost 4 in the prior 7 years. So for us, there was a lot of adjustment. We created something called the chart. The chart held everybody accountable. It made you show up to practice every day, and you had to get a checklist. So if you're down in the gym and you see that chart with everybody's name, if you didn't get 3 checks, you weren't able to start the next game. And so a lot of people who were traditional starters had missed time, but it helped everybody accountable and the most parity between the two. And so we have some players that I'm going to speak about who contributed on both, and Coach Caldera will kind of highlight them more in his, but I wanted to kind of give them a nod. And so Costa going to Gettysburg, Jake Boland going to Hood College, Marley going to Trinity College, and Dom going to Gettysburg as well. These 4 played an insane role for us, preparing day in and day out for our matchups. They provided a huge boost to us in practice, but even a huge boost to us in games, as some of them. Jake Stout is a person who some of you may have seen or not. He tore his labrum actually in the beginning of the year. Was supposed to be a starter for our team and was only here for a short time, but is going to UMBC to play basketball. And that leads me into Torin Bosch, who is actually home now, right, and doing some college visits. He joined us in December, and by time the year ended, he started in our state title game and guarded one of the top players in the country. And then you have Lucas Orchard going to Monmouth, and Alex Zackheim, who's going to Brandeis. These 2 post-grads joined us as major contributors of programs and sometimes had to take step backs. Alex Zackheim actually became first team in our league, and so I wanted to give a heads up to those guys. And then we have returners who are underclassmen from Toronto programs, and what we asked them was untraditional to what they have done, and it really helped us elevate our program as well. KJ actually got first team in our league and second team All-State, and so I wanted to give a nod to those gentlemen. And then really our big common for Macon, he was second team in our league, the EPL, and is going to the University of Delaware. He averaged 10 points, 6 rebounds. We asked him to do a lot of things that, right, Macon is slender in size if you see him, and so he had to guard some of the biggest and baddest in our league, and so I appreciate his sacrifice. And now the most improved player, I would say, is a student who came to us from Italy, who, if you know this gentleman, really thinks highly of himself, as he should, right? Alfredo's he's an amazing basketball player. He came to us from a really small private school in the town that I'm from, Burlington, New Jersey, and Alfredo came in here and he kept saying, I'm not gonna do the accent, but he kept asking us, like, why aren't you requiting me the same way as you do Thomas in Thomas Houck at Florida? And we had to explain to Alfredo, you and Thomas Houck are very different players. But that being said, this year against a Division I forward, he scored 29 and 11 against George School, and against Hill School in a must-win game, he had 24 and 11. He was second team EPL and is committed to go to Lehigh University. Let's hear a round of applause for our and our most valuable player. The same thing I said for Alfredo. If you know Gabe Tanner, boy, does Gabe Tanner love Gabe Tanner. He's very confident. He came to us from a small high school as well, and he had a bigger role, and so last year he came off the bench and was a super sub for us. He scored 19 in last year's state title game, and then this year, right, fighting through injury, he scored 19 for us as well. This year he took a step back from scoring as KJ, Hayden, Alex, and Alfredo stepped up, only scoring 12 points and 4 rebounds and 4 steals. But Gabe is the engine to who we are as a team, right? Without Gabe, right, the state championships don't exist, and right, the trip to the national prep championships don't exist either. And so for us, we go as far as Gabe goes, and that's our most valuable player for basketball this year. Thanks to my fiance as well for letting me. My daughter was born on February 11th, and our state title game was our first state playoff game was the 16th, and so I missed some days at home to help us win, and so I appreciate it. And I'll leave you with this quote: "Failure has 7 letters, and so does success. Negativity has 10 letters, and so does positivity." Every day we have a choice what lens we look through. This group, through the ups and downs of this season, found a way to come together and accomplish a part of it, and I appreciate everybody who contributed to that. Next up is Coach Caldera.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to talk about the prep team. When you look up the definition of team in the dictionary, it states a group of players forming one side in a competitive game or sport. The prep basketball team embodied that term to its truest definition this season. They were one of the most connected and joyous groups I've had the privilege to be around up until this point in my young professional career. They showed up every single day, willing to get better as individuals and as a group. This team produced 11-10, and now finishing this year with a record of 12-6. This season was special. We started off 9-0, which was a record for the prep team, with wins against Payson number 3 seed Friends Central and number 5 seed Penn Charter, as well as historic programs such as Shipley, Germantown, Lawrenceville, and Petty. The team had 5 players average double figures: Marley Stewart, Brandon Nunez, Bryson Whitfield, Jake Bolin, and Kosta Radulovic, which is a testament to the team mentality. They played the right way and together, as well as key contributions from Luke Ravitz, Dominic Colonna, Miles Fellman, Andrea Bongaloo, as well as a prep team record performance from Bryson Whitfield, scoring 42 points, which is a program overall record against the Petty School in our final game of the year. I'm a believer in leaving things in places better than where you found it. These young men accomplished that this season. When they move on to college next year, this team is now a better place because of their commitment and hard work. Myself and Coach Malley loved our time with this group, and I personally will cherish this group forever moving forward in my life. Our MIP is someone who I asked to do many things on the court. He's one of the hardest workers that I've been around, loves being in the gym, and he is a very good player. He's going to Gettysburg next season to pound the rock. The prep team's MIP is Kosta Radulovic. As far as for our MVP, this person, again, I asked to do quite possibly everything you could on a basketball court. I asked him to guard the other team's best guard. I asked him to rebound. I asked him to facilitate, and I asked him to score. He averaged 16, 7, and 6 this year, 48% from 3, which is remarkable, 50% from the field, and 80% from the line. But on top of all that, he brought tremendous joy, and he is someone that I've known before coming here, and he chose us in his 5th year, and I'm forever grateful for Marley Stewart. He is going next year to Trinity College, which is quite remarkable, and I'm so proud of his success and his work ethic, and I'm excited to be a part of his life moving forward. So your MVP for the prep team is Marley Stewart. Kay is up next.
Showed up day in and day out, ready to compete. Your hard work and commitment have been the foundation of this program's success. I wanted to personally thank our seniors. Each one of you brought a special piece to our program that will always be valued. Ava, Tara, Sophie, Jamie, and Lauren. We will miss you guys so much next season. Thank you all again for a great year, and we can't wait to get after it next season. The MIP this season, this player stepped up for our team in more ways than one. I watched her confidence grow in every individual workout, practice, and game. Her dedication to becoming a better player for not only herself, but the betterment of the team shows how much she cared about the success of our program. This year's most improved player goes to Jamie Murray. This player has been part of our program for 3 years. During her 3-year journey with us, I challenged her each season, both on and off the court, whether it was through a defensive assignment or approaching a situation differently. And she showed up each and every time. I have seen growth from her in all aspects of the game and as a teammate. Leading up,
What Ms. Krieger said earlier, I would like to thank my assistant coaches, Annabelle Wapplinger, for working with our beginners this season for swimming, and all their crazy improvements that they had, teaching them flip turns and diving, as well as Allison Rogers for her energy, and who can forget her pacing up and down the 500 on the side, and the cookies and PRs after practice, or beats. I'd also like to thank all of the parents and family members who came to support our athletes or on the live streaming, as well as the other faculty members who would help time or support us in our meets, including Dave McMillan. I'd also like to thank my family, Trent and Allie, for their support, and my husband, Dan, which is pretty difficult because he's also coaching basketball at the same time. Okay, starting with the girls team. We had some great competition this season with a lot of new faces in our program. Those included Irene, again, earning a new school record, and our 400 free relay finished 23rd. If you finished in the top 24, that they qualified for a final, so that was a big accomplishment for our athletes. Gabby also broke the 500 free school record this season, breaking Jimenez from last year. She will be continuing her swimming career at Loyola University next season. On to our MIP. This year, this athlete started swimming for the first time competitively and impressed us with her ease and grace in the water. Her love for this new sport was evident as she constantly asked us how to improve on her technique and her strokes. She was not afraid also to try our longer races when a lot of beginners stayed clear. She ended up consistently swimming in the 200-yard freestyle by the end of the season and always had a smile on her face. Throughout the season, 2.5 seconds per length of the pool. In her 100 free, she dropped 16 seconds, which is 4 seconds per lap. In her 100 backstroke, she dropped 24 seconds, 6 seconds per lap. In her 50 free, she dropped over 8 seconds, which is 4 seconds per lap. Our MVP this year is Irene. Our MVP this year for the girls has been a member of our team for the last 3 years and earned over 70 points this season with 3 first place finishes, 7 second place finishes, and 5 third place finishes. Not only is she one of the highest point earners between both, her contributions and assistance with her fellow teammates in their stroke technique and cheering them on the sideline has created a very welcoming community for our team. We will truly Moving on to the boys. This year, the boys also had a lot of new faces, with only 3 athletes that were returning from last season. They finished with a 5-2 record. New to the roster this year included Albert, Ryan, Sebastian, Simon, Jose Carlos, Harry, Garrett, Arkel, and then returning from last season was Ivan. And then our seniors included Andrea, Federico, Stefan, and Tommy. This year we had 4 boys that qualified for Eastern's swimming championships. They scored 25.5 points throughout the meet, finishing 26th overall. During that meet, they finished 21st in our finals in the 200 medley relay, which broke a school record. That was broken a couple years ago. So they re-broke that. And they also did break the record at our last home meet, earning the pool record. So that means they are the fastest relay team that has competed in our pool here on campus, no matter which team they're on. They also finished 23rd in finals in our freestyle relay, which was a faster time than they did last season. Our MIP this year is an Energizer Bunny in his lane. He digs down deep and competes all of his sets and yardage without taking many breaks. He's relentless and is consistently in dropping ridiculous amounts of time throughout his freestyle races this season. In addition, he was not afraid to dive right in and to do his best, often splashing us in the process. The MIP this year goes to Albert Chen. 42 seconds and 100 free, which is 4 lengths of the pool, which is about 10 seconds per lap between the beginning of the season and the end of the season. And he dropped over 30 seconds in his 50 free, which is amazing. That leads me to my last award of the MVP for the boys team. This year, this swimmer has been part of our program since 6th grade. It will be difficult to replace this boy. His presence has been impactful in and out of our pool. He is a part of 4 swimming records, including our relays in the 200 free and the 400 free, as well as the 200 medley pool record. Out of the pool, he is a go-to technician for any electronic needs, from playing our music to fixing our timing system. He also helps run our home meets and enters the lineups for the system as well. This athlete this season earned 131 points during our dual meets, which is pretty crazy considering we only had 7. He also finished with 23 first place finishes and 1 second place finish for the season. Almost perfect. This year at Easterns, he placed 13th overall in the 100 butterfly, and he barely missed our school record by a couple of tenths, and he actually improved by over a second from his time last year at that same season, at the same meet. So please welcome our MVP this year, Robert Tommy Sager. Tommy will be attending Virginia Wesleyan University next fall and will swim a part of their swim team. I also like to just wish all of our swimmers good luck, all of our seniors to where they're heading out next year, and hopefully all returning underclassmen I'll see in the pool next season.
Winter track. I just want to start by thanking all of the wonderful Perkiomen winter track athletes this year. They worked hard running outside in the cold or snow, in the hallways of Shumo, and all around town if you're a distance runner. That hard work paid off over the course of the season. We had a very successful season for both the boys and the girls. I want to thank you all for your dedication and Ms. Brenneman for being a great assistant coach throughout this year. So for the most improved player, the MIP awards, I'm going to present them together. There were several choices for the most improved player, but the athletes who stood out the most here are the 2 who became some of our fastest sprinters and showed incredible growth over the season, both in speed and in maturity. Both athletes became leaders and contributed to our successful season. And for the MVPs, I'll present them individually. This year, the boys' winter track team was stacked with great talent. Many school records were broken over the course of the season in sprinting events, distance events, and in jumping. It was great to see so much competition and dominance this year in the boys' team. There was one athlete who led the team in several events who is always willing to run in that. I am proud of his work and accomplishments. All right, and then MVP for the girls. This year, the girls track team showed incredible growth. The girls always worked hard at practice and pushed themselves. To choose an MVP should be celebrated. I am proud of her hard work and ability to make other athletes smile and laugh, even during her long meets or practices. This year's MVP for girls winter track goes to Alice Peeler. Next up is the Spring Award, starting with baseball.
So, we have a record of 18-4-1, which has earned us a 2 seed in the state tournament, which actually starts tomorrow, and hopefully it will not be, our last time together. I want to thank our coaches. I've been fortunate over the years, Coach Ramasco, Coach Rodriguez, Coach Glavin, who played here and is now coaching, and Coach Robertson. They've been with me probably a total of 60 years, so it makes my job a lot easier because we know each other very well and understand what we think needs to be done at times. We started the season with a successful trip to Puerto Rico. Obviously, it's great to go down there and practice and play. The weather's 50 degrees warmer than it is here when we leave. We ended up winning 4 games and tying 1 down there. Easter weekend, we played in the Mercersburg tournament, and we outscored our opponents 44-5 while winning the tournament. That tournament started us on a run of 11 consecutive wins before losing to Malvern, which we hope to have another shot at them. We regained our footing quickly, beating Penn Charter and Lawrenceville by 10 runs in both games. It is a talented team. There are 7 of the athletes are committed to Division I, several others that plan on playing at different levels. We play solid defense behind a good pitch games, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, at times you need to have a key hit, and we don't always have that. This year's MIP. Our MIP this year is our MVP has had an MVP year.
On the plate and walk, and I'll get into the awards. So at the beginning of the year, our most improved player didn't really have a role. We knew she could play, but we didn't really know where she was going to fit in. After getting a few opportunities, she quickly showed that she needed to be in the offensive lineup. Between DPing, which means just hitting for someone else, and playing third, Cammie worked her way into the everyday lineup, ending the year with the 2nd best batting average on the team at .512. She added 5 extra base hits, including 2 triples. I look forward to working with her moving forward as she develops her skills even further. Congratulations to our MIP, Cammie Hannigan Christian. Our MVP, so this year, she's been on the rise since she volunteered to play a high-value, difficult position as a 6th grader. Since then, she's developed her defensive skills exponentially each year. Getting to work with Claudia made her an even better catcher, and she's really been of value to our team. This year, congratulations to our MVP, Kenna Tobin.
This was a great year for Perkiomen tennis. We finished the boys' season with a record of 9 wins and 3 losses, and in league play, we were undefeated. In the end of the year Penn Jersey tournament, we were crowned league champions for the 4th year in a row with a clean sweep of the day, 5 first-place finishes. I want to thank my assistant coach, Coach Linsky, and on behalf of both of us, to express our appreciation to the boys for a great season. This was a fun, respectful group of young men who conducted themselves with integrity, and that says a lot. We set out in February their goal. Well done. Our most improved, but he truly showed his abilities at net as well as with strong ground strokes, and he got better throughout the season. He earned a spot in the starting lineup as a doubles player, and this year Tennis in the way that the teammates play has no impact on the outcome of their own match. However, added together, the wins determine the team's success. And as such, I can make the case for any one of our players to have earned the MVP designation. Here we based it on the individual that added together a small number of sprinters and throwers effort at practice. Taking our inexperienced roster into consideration, our message as coaches was that we did not expect everyone to be a great track athlete or to win the league championship. Our focus would be on getting a little better. At several meets, illnesses, injuries, etc., our athletes continue to heal. Boys and girls track, you coach girls. By the end of the season, we had broken or reset a total of 9 school records according to Moscow. Yelashvili, Tanya Tolstik, Caleb Walker. Caleb has been a dedicated member of but the horizontal jumps. He finished the season at the PESA and finished second place in the PESA championships last Saturday. We are very excited.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank my sister. It didn't start out great. I was very new to the sport now. I lost. It was very positive, but I think it really motivated everyone on the team to work a little bit harder. This year, calming, really went undefeated out on the course. So I really appreciate everything you guys are impressive. The best part, so it wasn't just 1 or 2. There were 4 players contributing, and we went a little deeper than that. It was just a lot of fun. Until we got to the league championship, which Coach Kruger had alluded to earlier, we lost by 1 stroke. I'll tell you about it later if you want. But the good thing is that all of my players will now be carrying rule books with them. Okay? No, we didn't make a mistake. We did everything right. Okay? But we learned a lesson, so it was positive. At the time. It was nice that we were able to stretch practice out and come back late every day, and they were just great. Great to be around, and they're going to be sorely missed. Our underclassmen, Luke and Lily and Johnny Ho, are really probably going to carry the mantle for us going forward. On to our awards. MVP, relatively easy because this person held the league scoring average, low league scoring average, through the entire season until the last week. Okay, he was incredibly consistent, and that's why Luke Stubblefield's our MVP.
just said, Luke held that scoring average until the last week of the season. And I believe girls lacrosse is next.
Effort. As a result of her hard work and dedication, she Coach Bruce for helping me every day when it came to planning practice, making sure we were out there to support our players and help them get better every day. Also to our managers, join me in congratulating our equipment every day, our most accurate stats for our players. It's really important for our student athletes that like to play at the next level. As our season came to an end last week in the first round of PISA, I reflected on awards from our MVP, truly honoring someone who has exemplified heart and soul of our tentative season. She fueled us to embodiment of every fine sport, dedication, leadership, and a never give up type of attitude. I'm proud to say this every time she steps on the field, she brings an unmatched level of face higher level teams, but through it all, she let every waver in our determination. She inspired her teammates to push harder, finish our season further, and never give up. For those losses, it's not just her honor to goal line that set her apart, but also for unwavering championship for the first time since 2009. She ended the season with 54 goals. This year, seniors lead the program, but we're excited for all of their next endeavors. Please join me in congratulating Will and Mellon for the follow along. Moving on to our most improved player. As we reflect on the season, it's important to recognize the growth and progress that each and every one of our players really earned this honor and our program. I'd like to highlight one player in particular who has truly stood out as the most improved player. She has shown remarkable dedication and determination throughout this year to become a better lacrosse player. She joined our team last season and has worked endlessly on her stick work to be that better player.
DC and New Jersey. Some of the schools that we used to play, like a Blair Academy, won't schedule us anymore. And I think about the impact that these 6 guys have had on the program. Rowan, Rico, Azar, Brendan, Nate, and Rocky. We're going to miss them like crazy, right? And what they've done for our program. You guys, like, you've left a foundation, and juniors, you got some big shoes to fill. I'd also like to thank our coaching staff, Coach Mangan, Coach Longstreth, Coach Lenfest, and Coach Koffel, as well as Coach Doherty. I'd also like to thank Ms. Blackburn, like I said earlier. It's an incredible group of guys. A lot of enjoy this year. I think they're on a couple of games every player was fun to come out there, helped us keep it together. And they care about these guys. Award winners this year, and what kind of people they become. And it's more about the wins and the losses. Last year, he was a second-line midfielder for us. He barely played. He had 10, 11 points on the season. And this year, he had 37 points on the season. But some of the statistical things that he accomplished as a long stick midi and a defender. Congratulations to all our teams and coaches on an incredible year. We're going to shift our awards that we give out at the end of the school year. They all require nominations from faculty members for a student or faculty member to be considered. The winners are voted.
Class of 2024 Panther Award. The Class of 2024 Panther Award recognizes a male student and a female student who have made significant contributions to the ownership, community service, or an unwavering commitment to the Panther athletics. These students have made an impact on Perkiomen that will be felt by future Panthers. This year's Panther Awards are presented to Kelsey McMillan and Tommy Sager. Our next award is the Perk G Legacy Award presented by Ms. Seeger.
The Perk G Legacy Award goes to a senior female student who's made a significant impact in developing and sustaining excellence in girls' sports at Perkiomen School. This student has served as a role model both on and off the court and field and has contributed to the advancement of girls' sports through awareness, support, education, and empowerment. This year's Perk G Legacy Award is presented to Claudia Knowles.
Next up, Coach of the Year awards presented by.
Good evening. The Kendall Baker Male Sports Coach of the Year Award, named in honor of legendary coach and athletic director Ken Baker. This award honors the male sports team coach whose team has achieved success that brought recognition to Perkiomen School. This year's Ken Baker Award is presented to football and track and field coach Casey Perlstein.
Our female underclass award winner is a two-sport athlete. She's a starter on the girls basketball team and has been a star this year in track and field, recently finishing second in the state in the 300-meter hurdles. This year's female underclass award winner. Our last two awards are the Male Athlete of the Year and the Female Athlete of the Year for the Male and Female Athlete of the Year award. So this senior class is just incredible in terms of their accomplishments. The Male Athlete of the Year. This award is presented annually to the top male student athlete in the school. Students are nominated by faculty and voted by an athletic. This year's Male Athlete of the Year is a captain on the baseball team. He leads the team in hits and stolen bases, has been a mainstay in center field throughout his career here, and according to his coaches, is one of the best leaders and captains they've ever had. He's committed to play Division I baseball at Manhattan College. This year's Male Athlete of the Year is Eric Diaz. Congrats again to all of our teams and award winners. When we close the ceremony in a few minutes, Mr. Curtin has a dessert reception over on the Colby lawn, so please go check that out. Before we go, we've honored the seniors a lot this year, or this ceremony, but I do want to address juniors. Okay? At the end of this week, we'll be finished playing athletics for this school year, and at that point, the seniors will have departed. So the future of Perkiomen athletics is now in your hands. As you step into a more formal leadership role, genuine leadership is about elevating others, not oneself. Steve Kerr, the legendary NBA coach, says leadership is not about guiding others, but about making them the center of your strategy. You make the people around you better, and by how you empower your teammates and classmates to be the best versions of themselves, much like these seniors did. This next year will fly by, and I want you to think about how you want to leave this place 1 year from now and start living that vision out in our school and our program. We can't wait to see you back on campus. Award winners, please stay. MVPs, NMIPs, and every other award winner, please take your pictures.